If you have ever been in a romantic relationship with a woman, you have probably been the subject of some kind of a female arts and crafts project. You have been the subject of this project. It's kind of like rehabbing an old house. They look at a man as like a pile of clay that needs to be molded. What they're going to mold you into is their version of a Disney Prince Charming or a Hallmark leading man. This is going to happen whether you know it or not, and even whether she knows it or not. This is just the way they're built. They want to fix you right from the very beginning. And I would suggest that as women have come into power through feminism over the last generation or two, that they want to fix society as a whole. It's not good enough that they just fix their own man. No, they want to fix all men. And so today I want to talk a little bit about how feminism has turned just being a natural, healthy man into being some kind of a weird, toxic monster. And even our most normal, healthy behaviors are now seen as dysfunctional or in some way deficient. So let's talk about it. I liken it to the way an invading army might occupy the land of an enemy. And in order to maintain order in that new occupied territory, they need to homogenize the population. In other words, they need to get them all on the same page and reading from the same new playbook, if you will. And women, through feminism, have done a pretty good job of that. And they've done it through many different pathways. But the final outcome has been that just being a man is in and of itself a deficiency. It's like the original sin, but just for men. They see us as a scourge that needs to be fixed, like a disease that needs to be cured. And it has caused imbalances in our society that we're now paying the price for. And it's only going to get worse before it gets better, because it always does. Some of these things are so frustrating that it creates more of the problem that they're trying to fix. For example, the press has given a lot of attention to the perceived problems of young men in particular. That young men are not graduating from high school as much, they're not going to college as much, they're not earning as much, they're not buying houses as much, they're not partnering up, they're not finding wives, they're not getting married, all this stuff. And they're wringing their hands thinking, oh my gosh, these poor boys, we need to do something to fix them. The thing is, they don't realize that the problem and the solution are the same thing. Like the solution they're offering just makes the problem so much worse. One of the most common solutions offered by feminist society is that men need to be dealing with their problems more like women. Like, we need to get in touch with our feelings. We need to go on a yoga retreat. We need to talk about it, really reminisce on it, ruminate on it. We need to get our emotions all out in order for us to come to terms with whatever we're feeling. And we need to spend as much time thinking about those feelings as we can. It has been my experience that modern psychology and therapy is full of shit. That the more you spend time thinking about what's wrong, the worse it gets. So why would you want to do that? Women love that shit. They just love it. And men are much more focused on solutions. It's like, okay, I got a problem. I don't know how the problem happened, but I can see a pathway to a solution. I'm going to take the path to the solution. I don't need to figure out why I got a flat tire. I just need to fix the fucking tire. You know what I mean? Like, women just want to figure out, well, where did the nail come from? How did we get a flat tire? Let's spend half a day thinking about how this tire got flat. No, just fix the tire. Just change the tire, move on with your life. You don't need to figure out why things are broken in order to fix them. You just need to fix them and move on. And more often than not, with psychological, emotional life stuff, it's just about changing your perspective, changing your thoughts on the topic, moving on from it. You don't need to figure out why it happened. You don't need to understand that your mother was a bitch to you when you were little, or that your father didn't spend enough time throwing the ball with you. No, that doesn't help. You're not going to go back to them and say, hey, you need to apologize for all the bad stuff you did when I was a kid. No, you're not going to get any satisfaction there. You just got to move on. You got to figure out what the solution is and implement it as quickly as possible. So women would much rather you, like I said, spend all your time dwelling on whatever that problem was and how it happened. And that will never fix it. Another one of these wacky feminine cures for men is that we need to be more vulnerable. Yes, that's obviously the problem. We need to get in touch with our feelings, and we need to wear them on our sleeves so that we know exactly what we're feeling at any given moment, and we are vulnerable to others, which will allow us to be more compassionate, I guess. I don't know. It sounds crazy to me, but women think that that's the way for a man to become more attractive in some way, not just healthier, but more attractive. That has never been my experience. It's always been my experience that the more vulnerable a man becomes, the more unattractive he becomes, and the less any woman wants to spend time with him. The idea that a man could work through his issues, his problems, whatever they may be, through internal, rational thought is something so foreign to women, we might as well be talking a different language. I don't think women have the capacity for internal, rational thought about their own issues. It seems like that in order for them to be able to deal with anything, they need to get it out of their mouth and out into the world to as many people as possible. And they don't understand that men are not like that at all. In fact, if we even talk about it with one person, that might be one too many. That more often than not, men can listen to their own thoughts. They can come to rational conclusions about what's going on, and they can seek help if they need it. But just because they have a problem doesn't mean it's unsolvable. It just means they haven't found the solution yet. Given enough time and the right opportunity, most men will come to the solution that they need in the moment. Problems are not problems in and of themselves. Problems are opportunities for growth. Problems are the doorway to the next version of yourself. And most men understand that in order to solve whatever issue they're dealing with, they're probably going to have to evolve into a better version of themselves. Now, running around and talking to, therapists and friends and family and women and all these other people about it, generally speaking, only tends to confuse the issue, because you're going to get 100 different opinions. Every time you tell someone, someone else is going to give you an opinion about what you should be doing. And more often than not, those opinions are going to be filtered through their own lens. And the only lens that matters is the lens of the man who has the problem. These problems are all very unique. They're custom just for you. So more often than not, and I'd say all the time, if you've got a problem, you know what the solution is. You may not like it, you may not want it, but most men know what the solution is. It's just a matter of whether they're going to do it or not. And in the rare occasion that there is some debate as to whether this is the right path forward, a guy can talk to another guy, because another guy will ask the right questions and give him the right perspective to find his own answers. Most men don't tell other men how to solve their problems. They just get them thinking about it. The conspiracy against masculinity, healthy masculinity, has gotten so intense that traits like strength, leadership, stoicism have been conflated with toxic traits like misogyny or, I don't know, whatever they think is toxic. But inevitably, they're undermining men's natural innate ability to manage their own issues and problems by identifying these things as being toxic traits. And this, of course, is just a conflation in the female mind that anything masculine has got to be problematic. And the inevitable cause of this is because at some point in their lives, some man has either, pumped and dumped them, or has called them out for their wacky behavior, and they think that because they were criticized by a man, that all men must be wrong. The truth of the matter is, women are a confused gender. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them have a real difficult time trying to differentiate between what's real and what's not real. And they will use their imaginations to create experiences or problems or, behaviors in order to rationalize their own behavior. And this is a toxic trait, and they are very unlikely to ever take any accountability for their own toxic behaviors. They're very quick to point the finger at men and say that all of our even healthy behaviors are toxic, but they will never take accountability for their own toxic behaviors. I think that what we're seeing is a general degendering of society. And the danger there is that by degendering society, we lose the valuable diversity that comes from having two genders. And I'm only talking about two here because I don't want to go down that path with all these other things that people are talking about. But there is and always has been, and I think even in other kinds of sexual relationships, there's always a masculine and a feminine. Even in gay relationships, I've seen it many, many times. And each plays a critical role in a healthy society and in a healthy relationship. And if you don't have both a masculine and a feminine bringing their own unique characteristics to the table, then you may as well just have a bunch of lesbians running around. One of the big problems that I have seen with men in particular is in order to remain in good stead with the feminine culture, they will adopt many of their opinions and ideas about masculinity, thus endorsing their wacky thoughts and behaviors about it. These men I call feminine. They're Femi-Men. Femi-Men. These Femi-Men are problematic. This is like taking blue pill to the extreme. They're not just oblivious to the problem, they are adding to it. And these guys are inevitably encouraging these women to continue going down this path that men's natural healthy behaviors are toxic. And they're doing this because it's self-serving. These guys they're getting laid, they're getting positive feedback from women. Maybe some of these guys were never comfortable in their own masculinity. Maybe their fathers treated them badly. Who knows? But inevitably, these guys are feeding into the problem. So keep your eyes open for them. And if you see one, send them this video. Hopefully, it'll wake them up. It'll shake them loose from it, because I really believe that these guys are encouraging this problem much more than it otherwise would be just with the women alone. There you are. What a good boy. What a good dog. The ultimate irony when it comes to women is that while at the same time they're saying that men are not measuring up, they're not good enough, they're not getting out of school, they're not making jobs, making money, all these problems, and they're quick to point out how we have all these shortcomings. Out of the next breath out of their mouth, they'll talk about male privilege. And they'll talk about how they're being held down by the patriarchy and how men are dominating in all these fields, which is completely senseless. I mean, it doesn't make any sense at all. How on earth can we both be not measuring up, not good enough, not doing the things that they need us to do, always needing to be fixed, and at the same time have all this privilege, and we're dominating, and we control everything, and we're a patriarchy, we own everything. So obviously these women are just complaining for the sake of complaining. Their lives suck because they have lost sight of who they are as human beings. They think that the gender role that they were born into as a woman is in some way deficient. And so that's their starting point. They think they are deficient. And the only way that they can fix this deficiency is, rather than to become a better woman or rather to become a better human being, they want to be a man. They want to take on male behaviors. They think that because we have it so good, they want to be more like us, which is another irony in this whole mess. Like, if we're doing so poorly, why do they want to be like us? Why do they want all of our stuff? I don't get it. Anyway, you guys, that's all I got for you today. These bugs are driving me crazy. I hope you've enjoyed the video. If you have, please like and subscribe. If you know a Femi-Man, please share this video with them. And if you know someone who might just get a laugh out of this, please send this to them as well. All right, I'll see you next time. Until then, stay healthy, and if you can, be a better man.